Interest rates, elections, inventory changes, price drops. What in the world is going on with the real estate market here in Southern Utah? We've seen a lot of changes over the last couple months, and a lot of people are asking, where are things going to go through the end of the year? Where now summer is over, fall is here, winter is right around the corner here in Southern Utah. Now looking forward, we are here in October and just 3 months remain in 2024. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of crazy to think how quickly this year has gone and all of the changes that we've seen. Now let's get into it. We're going to talk about my bold prediction for the real estate market here in Utah, specifically in the St. George area. What's going on, you guys? My name is Cody Steck, your favorite Utah realtor. I'm a realtor based here in Utah. I service the entire state. Between my team and I, we service everything from the north end of the state all the way down to the south end. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're in one of two positions. Either one, you already live here in the area, or number two, you're thinking about making a move here to St. George and you're interested in what's happening with the real estate market. You've come to the right place. Fortunately, my team and I have had over 1,000 people reach out from videos just like this. If you're in that position where you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate here in Utah, please reach out to me. My information is here on the screen. Call, text, or email me anytime. I absolutely love hearing from you guys and cannot wait to help you along in that journey. So with that being said, let's actually talk about some market stats and figure out what's happening in the market. The number of home sales that we saw across the board here in Southern Utah, we actually saw that number month over month drop by about 24%. Now that's a pretty substantial amount, especially when you consider how many homes sell from month to month. Seeing a 24% drop is somewhat concerning, but also somewhat expected. I say that because during the summer, it's just hot, right? Not a lot of people want to move during this time. It's hot, it's uncomfortable, and it seems to be a little bit slower of a time. Now, the springtime is actually pretty busy. Summer is actually quite slow. A lot of people travel during this time because it's so hot. They go north, they get out of town to enjoy somewhere else, and therefore that means that there's going to be less home sales across the board during this time. However, from August to September, seeing a 24% drop is pretty substantial. So let's dive in a little bit further and find out what actually happened. Prices have actually dropped as well. We saw the median listing price go from about $550 down to $525, and the median sales price dropped about $15,000 from $525 to $510,000. So prices have actually come down month over month, but don't get too excited just yet because I do think this is going to continue to fluctuate. If you've watched any of my past videos, you'll know that the market fluctuates pretty drastically here in St. George based on what homes are selling. Of course, you know, during 1 month, you might have a lot of luxury home sales that happen, and the next month, maybe not so many. And that's going to affect how sales prices change month over month and year over year. For instance, if you're looking at the sales data from April, you might see a median sales price of $580,000 compared to the $510 today. You might think that prices have dropped substantially. However, going back and comparing to what home sales we saw in February, our median sales price during that time was actually $490. So a substantial change there. You could see if you're comparing to April, it might look like prices are down. If you're comparing to February, it'll look like prices are up. So make sure to take that with a grain of salt. Make sure to really get a better understanding of what's going on in the market and really kind of do your research when it comes to purchasing a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate. There's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of things you have to consider throughout this process. Now, when it comes to whether or not now is the right time for you to make that decision is completely a personal decision. I'm always a believer that when people ask me, hey, should I buy now? Should I wait 3 months? Should I wait 9 months until interest rates drop? What should I do? I always say, look, it depends on your own individual situation. If it makes sense for you and where you're at in life with your family to make a purchase today, then let's go ahead and do that. If it makes sense for you to wait 6 months, totally cool. Let's see what happens over the next 6 months. Save up a little bit more money, work on your credit score, do what you need to do to get in a position where you're going to have no concerns going forward with purchasing a home later on. I'm personally always a believer that, hey, owning real estate is a good thing. Real estate's been one of the most resilient things over the last couple hundred years here in America, and I think it's going to continue to be that way, at least during your lifetime and mine. So that's just my personal opinion. Of course, not everybody agrees with that. There are downsides that come with it, but there's a lot of upsides as well, especially on a personal level. So let's actually take a look at what's happened with inventory over the last couple months, as well as over the last couple of years. Taking a look at this graph here on my screen, you can see the number of listings here as of September 2024. We had almost 1,900 listings active on the market. This is up substantially from June, where we had roughly 1,670 home sales, let's say. This is 1,650. So yeah, just above that a little bit. Here about 1,675, right? Something around there. Going back to 2022, this is as far back as it would let me go on this data set. October 2022, we had 1,750 listings. So month over month, you can see there's been a very drastic climb. Even going back here to January, we had 1,480 active listings during that time, sitting at 1,890. Comparing this to months over the last couple of years, in September of 2023, we had 1,600 listings. And then back here, doesn't show me September, but October, we had 1,700 listings during that time. So inventory is starting to climb. This means there's more competition in the market. There's more people looking to sell, and that is actually bringing prices down just slightly, right? There's still a ton of demand here in the market. I still think there's a lot of buyers who are sitting on the sideline waiting to jump in. But let's be honest, the relative affordability of housing, especially here in Southern Utah, is incredibly lacking right now. It's incredibly expensive to go out there and purchase a home with today's interest rates and with today's prices. Looking at interest rates, we've actually got a little bit of a bump up here. We've been falling over the last couple of months. Going back here to May, we were sitting around 7.25%, let's say, right in here. And we've actually fallen all the way to about 6.1%. Now, this is across the board. This is a website here that compiles mortgage data from across the country and actually puts it all together in one place and says, here's what your average mortgage rate is. Fortunately, here in Utah, we seem to be a little bit below this, usually about 0.25% to maybe 0.5% lower than what you see here. So when you're seeing 6%, low 6% range here, we're actually more like high 5% range for a lot of borrowers out there, assuming that credit's good and everything else. So just something to kind of note there. Make sure to really do your research on what you're seeing in the market, and make sure you're working with somebody who is familiar with the market, familiar with what's happening with interest rates, unemployment, housing, inventory, days on market. All of this stuff is very, very important. Hopefully we can be that trusted resource for you. Again, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please reach out to me. Call, text, or email anytime. I've had over 1,000 people reach out from videos just like this, and I would love to hear from you as well. Continuing on, we actually did see a little bit of a bump up in interest rates just today, right? We actually saw a 0.25% bump from 6.26% to 6.5% due to the jobs data that came out. I think basically what it said is that the jobs data looked really, really good, and therefore mortgage rates actually jumped up just a little bit because of that, because there was further uncertainty as to whether or not the Fed would continue to lower interest rates over the coming months. Now, it's a little bit interesting because a lot of that was already priced in, right? The drop that the federal government gave us on the Fed funds rate just a little bit ago, I think that was maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, was actually already kind of priced in. We did see a little bit of a drop, but now we've jumped back up. I do think we're on a downward trend, so I do think these will come back down, but we'll have to wait and see. So with that said, what's my prediction on the market? Well, number one, I know a couple of certain things. One, there's still a ton of growth happening out there in the market. There's still a ton of people moving here and who want to relocate here either for retirement, for a vacation home, or for their own personal primary residence. I've had a lot of people reach out for that over the last couple of years, and it continues to grow year over year. So I think we're gonna continue to see that. I also think we're gonna continue to see strong housing growth here in Utah. Washington County is actually expected to be one of the fastest growing counties in all of America. We're going to see a ton of growth here. In fact, in Utah, it's definitely number one, and it's going to be one of the fastest across the country. So there's going to be a ton of housing growth over the next 20, 30 years. And whether you like it or not, this is going to continue to push prices up. If you're already a homeowner, that's going to be a good thing. If you are not a homeowner, then it's going to get harder and harder as time goes on. So make that personal decision, see if it makes sense for you to purchase right now or whether to wait. In my opinion, I think over the next couple months, we could see interest rates come back down. So if you want to wait and see, I don't think there's any harm in that. Just know that there's going to be some seasonality as well, and some other factors that you really have to consider with what's happening in the next couple of months. If you want a personalized situation or analysis on your situation, please reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you. Just give me an honest opinion about, hey, buy now, buy later, whatever it is you should do. I'd just like to talk through that with you. So reach out to me, call, text, or email anytime. And with that said, guys, we'll catch you in the next video.